my name is Sharmi. I'm also known as the Sambal Queen from the first season of MasterChef Singapore. So today we're going to be cooking Ayam goreng Halia for DINE for Charity Ramadan edition. So let's get cracking. So today we're going to be cooking Ayam goreng Halia, and we have some chicken clean and prepped. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pat them dry first. Okay, so I'm just transferring them to a bigger bowl, and we're going to pat them dry with a kitchen towel, with a tissue paper or whatever you have. So we need to pat the chicken dry so that the moisture is all gone before we oven fry the chicken. Now if you don't have an oven, you can also use an air fryer. But if you do want to deep fry, go ahead by all means if you want to deep fry the chicken. But I just like to take shortcuts. I like the easy way out when it comes to cooking. So I'm adding some salt. So you want to add salt before you add any of the other spices, just so that the chicken absorbs the salt first before you add all the other spices. So I'm just adding some turmeric powder as well. And just a touch of oil. So like I said, I'm doing the oven fried method. So we're going to add just a teaspoon, just a splash of oil. And now we're going to transfer it to a baking tray, and we're going to put it in the oven at 200 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now if you're using an air fryer, it should be the same setting. But you know, air fryers are a bit small, so you're probably going to have to do it in batches. So I'm just going to transfer it to a tray. You just want it to be crispy skin. You want it cooked on the outside because the inside is going to get cooked when you add the sauce later. So you're going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes at 200 degrees. Same setting for your air fryer as well. Okay, so we've done the chicken. Now comes the chopping part of all the ingredients so that you can make the sauce. So I just have some yellow onions here. In Malay, we call this bawang Holland. Surprisingly, it is actually from Holland. One cut off the root, cut off the top, peel it. Okay, and you want to slice this thinly. Now we're going to prepare garlic. I'm using just some 4 cloves of garlic, and then I'm going to need some ginger as well. I mean, it is Ayam goreng Halia, and Halia is ginger, if you guys do not know. Okay, you just want to peel your skin of the ginger. And same thing, you want to slice it first, and then you want to cut it lengthwise so that it becomes matchsticks. Go as thinly as you can because we are not blending these ingredients up, okay? And now we'll do the garlic. For the garlic, same thing, you just want to slice it thinly as well. So I'm using 1 chili padi, 1 red chili, and 1 green chili. As thinly as you can. This goes inside here. As for the green chili, I'm just going to cut it lengthwise. Leave the seeds in. And for the chili padi, I am going to throw away the seed. What's life without chilies, man? I don't understand people who can't eat chilies. So now we're going to prepare the bell peppers. In Malay, we call this lada benggala. It's basically bell peppers or capsicum. If you know, some people call it capsicum, some people call it bell peppers. For this one, I'm just getting rid of the seeds and the stem. Same thing, slice it thinly. So I'm just setting this aside. I've got everything pretty much ready. So now we're going to get cooking started. Okay, so now we're preparing the sauce. Just want to turn on the stove. Can switch it to medium-low heat. And I like to heat up the pan first for a while before adding the oil, because then the oil will heat up almost immediately. So I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So I'm just going to add the yellow onions, the bawang Holland. And here the sizzle. So I like to try to separate the yellow onions as much as when I'm sauteing it, when I'm frying it. Just so that you don't bite into a big chunk of onion when you eat the chicken. Okay, you can see that the onions have changed in color and there's some caramelization to it. Okay, there's some brown bits and that's perfectly fine. So this is your cue to add your ginger, your garlic. Let's add ginger and garlic first before we add the chilies and the capsicums. Okay, I can see that I need a bit more oil, so this is the part where I add a bit more oil. I don't like to add so much oil at the start because you want to be able to add more instead of removing. Okay, so the garlic is looking good. I'm going to add the chilies. Okay, as well as the bell peppers. So now I'm going to add the spices. I have some cumin over here. This is just ground cumin. And I have some coriander as well. So you want to fry the cumin and coriander first before you add the sauces or the chicken, because you want to garingkan. You want to make the spices a bit more you know, you want that kick. So what does the trick is actually to fry the spices first before you add the wet ingredients. Alright, and now we're going to add the sauces. So I have here some oyster sauce. I have 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce. I also have some sesame oil. Just on a splash, probably half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. I'm going to reduce the heat and I'm going to add some water. Okay, the sauce is looking good. We're going to check the chicken out and then we're going to add it to this dish. Now I've switched this to the lowest heat so that because we want the chicken to be simmering in the sauce a little bit. Okay, so we're just gonna take out the chicken first. Okay, so now chicken is ready. We're just gonna transfer the chicken into the sauce. And we don't want to waste all this delicious juice from the chicken. So we're gonna add it into the sauce. Okay, so now we can turn up the heat a little bit more and we're going to gently stir the sauce into the chicken. It smells really amazing. And we are going to cover this up and let it simmer for about 5 minutes and then we can serve, but for Iftar. Okie dokie. So our dish is ready. It's time for plating and garnishing. Gonna turn out the heat. Look at that. It smells really good. Whew. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this a garnish. I have some spring onions over here. And I have some Chinese parsley, aka daun soup daun bawang. And we're just gonna sprinkle some all over. And there it is, Ayam goreng Halia in 30 minutes or less, ready for your Iftar. And that's it for today's edition of Dine for Charity Ramadan edition. I'll be sharing one more recipe with you guys, so stay tuned for that one as well. See you in the next episode!